Hey everybody on my YouTube channel and on the MHPGardener.com and anybody else on my Facebook site. Still not important enough to have a Twitter account. Just thought it's been about a month since I last updated you on the Circle X Garden project. Things have been busy. Obviously we had Thanksgiving thrown in there. I had to wrap up the wedding season and everything else. However, been doing a couple of things, especially here in the garage, to kind of test out my aquaponic system. And I just wanted to share that with you. I mean, obviously there's tons of aquaponic videos out there on the net, so I'm not going to go into the specifics of how aquaponics work. It's fairly simple. You have fish in a tank. They do their business. It gets pumped up into the bed, and things cycle through the plants. What I just wanted to show you was what I've been doing over the past few weeks, and just kind of share the results with you as we go along. So let's go ahead and take a look at this, and if y'all have any opinions on it, obviously let me know. Okay guys, as you can see here this is my very much beta and preliminary aquaponic system. I just did this to test things out. As I said, I'm not going to go into the specifics of how everything works because there's tons of video out there describing how aquaponics work and the mechanics of it. You obviously can see down there in the bottom the two tanks. The one on the left is the fish tank, the one on the right is the sump tank where all the fish excrement goes into, and then that is pumped up into the beds. The two white things that are sticking up from the grow beds are the bell siphons, and we'll get a close-up of those in a minute. What's grown in those beds right now is 21 tomato plants that were seeds just about 6 weeks ago, literally seeds out of the package. And I just wanted to see how well they would do. And so we're going to take a closer look at them here in just a second. But this is just a basic rudimentary setup. It's nothing special. I just wanted to see if it would work and how well it would work. And I'll get into some more specifics about what's actually in here coming up here in the next few seconds. Okay guys, here's a closer view of the tanks. Like I said, the one on the left is the fish tank, the one on the right is the sump tank. They're both aerated. You can't really see the fish in there right now. They're kind of hiding, but it's my sacrificial goldfish, and they've actually lasted a lot longer than what I thought they were going to. And you'll see the results more close up here in a minute of what they've been able to produce. But this is a basic setup. The one on the left keeps the level up in the one on the right, and the pump is the one on the right, which takes the water out so the fish aren't in danger. Like I said, I'm not going to go into all the mechanics of aquaponics, as many of you can find videos about this all over YouTube. It's not rocket science, and I just wanted to show that this is the setup. The way that it's keeping level is that there's a piece of PVC pipe attached to both of the bottoms of the buckets, so water will find its own level and go from there. Fairly common setup, fairly simple setup. Okay, here are the tomato plants that I've been growing over the past. Now these were seed 6 weeks ago, literally seed inside the package. And all that's been done is that they were started in some seed trays, and then they were fed in the seed trays using the aquaponic water. And so now I took the lights off so that y'all could see them a little bit better. So now I got tomato seedlings. These are practically all Romas from what I remember. I think a couple of beefsteaks might have slipped in there, but I'm sure 90% of these are all Romas. So what you can see here is that these plants, and some are varying in sizing just because of where the lighting is, and that's just a part and parcel to an aquaponic system. These have not had any direct sunlight, and some are as high, using the old scientific method of a measuring stick. Some are as high as 8 or 9 inches. Some are they're still kind of short. Some are like 6 or so. But the main reason why I point all this out is that they have not received direct sunlight in any way, shape, or form. So I don't even want to know how big these things would be if they were outside under the direct sun, which is going to be the next step, is setting this process up outside into an actual grow bed. I just wanted to make sure that I got the system down and got the cycling done properly and everything else. Also, as I keep on hammering on, these have not received direct sunlight. They've had fluorescent light from about right here. Obviously, as the plants grow, the light has been going up. But if they had actual direct sunlight, I think that they would be doing a little bit better. I don't know if for 6 weeks being at 7 or 8 inches on some of these is normal or not. This is probably the most successful that I've ever been growing tomatoes to date, because my first attempt was an absolute failure. And also with it being November, almost December, in Texas, I might have a good head start for spring. I don't see these producing anything during the winter because I do not have the greenhouse set up yet. More about that later. But this is basically what the plants look like without the lights on, and you can tell it's a fairly simple setup. And but I do think that the plants are looking pretty good. Plenty of vegetation, nice green leaves. There's no scalding on the leaves. There's no mold or anything like that. But like I said, about at around October, somewhere between October 8th and October 15th, these were seeds in a tray, and now, you know, they're looking pretty healthy. I think they look healthier than when you just do basic watering in the seed trays. These started out in the seed trays, as I said before. So that's the way they look right now. I don't know what, if anything, is going to come of them. I think I might be able to use them for some plants this coming up spring, as long as they continue to grow, and then we can put them out when it gets warmer, and they can start to set flowers and pollinate and start producing fruit. But that's 21 tomato plants in those trays. I did start out with 30, but I went ahead and thinned them out and spread them out a little bit more. And also, one other hint when dealing with an aquaponic system, if you got old plants, you could drop them right down into the fish tanks and they'll eat those things up real quick. A lot of fish are vegetarian or omnivores. They'll eat both vegetation and meat. And so that's what I did, and they scarfed them up pretty good. So that's that on the beds. Like I said, you got the bell siphons, you got the trays. All that's in there is standard pea gravel that you can get at any big box store, Lowe's, Home Depot, things like that. As I said, there's tons and tons and tons and tons and tons of video on the net about aquaponics, so I'm not going to go into too much specifics about the setup on this. So, like I said, if anybody has a problem with what I'm doing here, or if you have any suggestions on how to make it better, please let me know. Okay, guys, I want to wrap this video up now. I wanted to come out here to the build/grow site because Bobby, MHPGardener, said the following on his video that he released on Monday, November 26th, which was...
I've got a third greenhouse frame, had it for several months now, trying to decide what to do with it. I got my backhoe back running like it's supposed to, so I can start digging some holes and maybe bury some tanks to put the fish in. Haven't decided yet, but don't be surprised if sometime next spring, early summer, you see an aquaponics greenhouse. It's on my to-do list.
Okay, so Bobby is not content in having 2 greenhouses. He wants to have a third, which is fine and good, all great for him, and he wants to make it an aquaponic greenhouse. Well, as I mentioned in my very first video, and as I've mentioned several times on the website or on the forum, that, you know, I was going to be doing the same thing. So I just want to offer or issue a very, very friendly challenge to Bobby up there in Virginia. Let's see who gets it up first, because we're basically both starting from nothing. You already have the greenhouse frame. I don't have anything but this plot of dirt right now. And also, it's just a friendly competition, nothing personal. Just like to see who could get up there, get their aquaponic greenhouse up first. Now, obviously, Bobby has the advantage because he's built 2 of these things before. He's built 2 greenhouses before, and I've never even done this. But also, I want to do this as a challenge to exchange knowledge and to push ourselves a little bit to see if we could get this, get them up, get them going, and we're going to learn along the way. And so that's just my little personal challenge to Bobby. It's just a fun little competition. Who could get their aquaponic greenhouse up and running first? And I guess we'll let the Bayou Gardener viewers and all the viewers on YouTube decide who's got one better. Now, obviously, Bobby's is probably going to be a little bit bigger than mine because I'm constrained to about 110 feet, and I can't take up the entire backyard with one greenhouse. But just a little fun competition between myself and Bobby. Because I had mentioned the hydroponic, aquaponic thing a few months ago, right around the time that that Bobby was doing the hydroponic thing, but I wanted to go more aquaponics. I think it's more efficient. You don't have to monitor the nutrient mix. You just let the fish do their business and watch the plants grow. So, like I said, just a friendly little competition, and we'll all learn from it. It'll be beneficial to everybody who viewed these videos, and they'll be done in high quality, and we'll be taking it in baby steps or maybe massive steps and go from there. So, like I said, just to Bobby, let's get it on, brother, and let's see what we can learn together on this journey. Before I completely and totally close this video, there is one thing, since I mentioned Bobby, I'm also going to mention Bear Prepper, who is my sister here in this area of Texas. Over the past couple of weeks, a couple of their videos had come under scrutiny from either members on YouTube or what have you. Bear Prepper had done a video that was entitled Cannibalism, and apparently the long knives came out for her. And then Bobby, on his radio show, Preparing to Provide on PrepperBroadcasting.com, did a very, very concise and thorough explanation of the whole GMO seed problem. Now, I don't know what was said. I don't know who said it, but whatever was said apparently was apparently enough to prompt Bobby to do another 17-minute video the day after, which was very well done. And I want to say this right now as a fellow man, I don't think I could have held my tongue as well as what Bobby did. And also, Bear did the same thing in response to everybody being negative about her quote-unquote cannibalism video. And so my whole point with this is that, you know, I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion. There's a lot of misinformation out there, as Bobby and Bear have very, very thoroughly explained, and I'm not going to beat a dead horse on that. But right now, guys, with the way the world is at this point in time, this is not the time to eat our own. This is not the time to bring the long knives out on people who are sincerely and seriously trying to help out fellow gardeners and fellow preppers and fellow people who may have no idea what they're doing on these skills. I've learned more from Bobby's videos and Donald's videos as well, and everybody on the board. I don't want to start mentioning names because I know I'm gonna forget people and I'm gonna get in trouble. But specifically Bobby, and watching how his greenhouse has evolved and everything that he's done, and especially with the things that he has to deal with in his personal life. He's mentioned a couple of those things on the radio show. I'm not going to bring him up here because I don't feel that's right. But for him to be able to sit down and do all these videos for us, and then apparently somebody got ticked off because of his personal opinion on the GMO seeds is absolutely and totally ridiculous. And as he said, if you don't like what he says, or if you don't like what I say, or whomever say, unsubscribe, don't view the videos, but don't come after people who are just trying to, you know, do something honest and pure. And like I said, with the way the world is, do we really need to do that? Do we really need to be going after each other like this? If you really got a problem with the GMO seeds, then fine, as Bobby said, stop buying that junk in the grocery store. So that's really all I have to say about that. It was kind of gnawing at me ever since I saw Bobby having to do that reaction, that response video that he did on the GMO stuff, and he said he's not going to talk about it anymore, and that's fine, but I hadn't voiced my opinion on it. And I know Bobby is a big boy, and Bear Prepper, she's a big girl. They don't need me coming to their defense, but I'm just saying, just as a viewer, as a gardener, and everything else, I don't find it right that people bring out the long knives on that. I deal enough with that in my own industry, being video production and photography. I have to deal with critics all the time who think they know better and just won't let people do things the way that they want to do them, or they think that the person is completely and totally crazy for having this viewpoint. But I just wanted to let my 2 cents be known on that issue. Like I said, I know nobody was salivating for me to respond to it, but it was something that was on my mind, and I personally think it's kind of petty and small for people to act that way because somebody has an opinion that also was backed up by fact and articles and research. So you can believe whatever you want. You can believe that the New World Order is running things and they're corrupting all these reports and everything else, but I'm sorry, from everything that I've seen, all of Bobby's information was 100% accurate. And then when it comes to Bear's video, she was just joking around, really, and she was trying to show you how to cure pork. So, you know, come on, guys, let's lighten up. I know things are kind of bad in the world right now, but as long as we all stick together and we don't eat our own, we're going to get through this, and we'll learn new skills about in the process, and we'll be able to provide for ourselves even better when things start getting better, if things do get better. But I have faith that they will. So like I said, that's my 2 cents on it. I appreciate your viewing. God bless you, and may God bless this great republic of ours.